The paradox of choice is an interesting thing I learned about or overheard in a random conversation that actually fascinated me. It's not that confusing because if you think about it, it really is common sense, but it takes a minute to register, right? It says that the more choices you have, the less happy you are, and this is in, I guess, a specific type of situation because generically you would expect the more choices you have, the happy you are because you have more choices and more options. But there's a situation where sometimes if the like value of each choice is actually like really good and you just have to pick a good choice among several good choices, you're kind of in a situation where more choices actually makes you less happy. And the example I heard my brother use was when you go into an ice cream shop and there's like 100 ice cream flavors, you kind of are pissed off and annoyed because they could all be good and you don't know which one to pick, right? It's an idea where the more choices you have, all the choices are so good, you don't want to pick one. You want to experience all of them, but you can only pick one, or if you're rich, like the triple scoop fatty mode, where you can only pick three, but there's still so many choices. So it's the idea where opportunity cost, for whatever you pick, you're missing out on literally everything else, which is a good it only applies when the other choices that you have to give up are like also equally valuable or somewhat valuable choices that end up getting like shoved away in the opportunity cost. But it's really not like it is common sense when you think about it. When you pick one thing, you're giving up another thing. That's really how every single choice at any point in time ever works. So it makes sense that the more choices you're given, the more you have to sacrifice when you pick one choice. And the way I think about it is every choice added is like another thing that you're giving up, right? So if you're picking between like two things, it's not that big of a deal, right? You picked one thing, you gave up the other thing. You're picking between like five choices and they're all solid choices. You pick one thing, you're giving up four things, right? And then keep adding the numbers, and then overall, over time, the more choices you have, the more and more pissed you get because every choice you make, you're sacrificing. And it's the idea of cost-benefit analysis. What are you sacrificing? What if there's the chance that the other choice you made could have been any better than the choice that you currently made? And the more other choices, alternatives that you missed out on, the more pissed you get. So, yeah, that's a little fun explanation of what I understand of the paradox of choice. A fascinating little conundrum that does really apply to literally everyday life in a lot of scenarios.